Hello and welcome to the Baltic Football Podcast, your home for everything Baltic football and beyond. With the UEFA Conference League playoffs just around the corner, we're diving into the most historic clubs from Central Europe, AC Sparta Praha, ahead of their clash with Riga FC on the 21st of August at the Stadion Letná, along with the game at a later date in Riga. Joining me today is Filip Horký, the former leading Czech journalist and head of news at Seznam TV, and now with the Alexor Group and Breaking News Czech. But above all, from what I know of Filip, he is a diehard Sparta Praha fan. Remember, we want to hear your thoughts on this fixture, so please do subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. Filip, great to have you here. How are you?
Great, thank you very much for your introduction. It was amazing. So yeah, let's say passionate fan of Sparta Prague. You're right.
How long have you been going to watch Sparta Praha for?
A whole life. Basically, I started with ice hockey, and then I moved to football. So it's like 15 or maybe 16 years visiting home games, especially home games of Sparta Prague.
Amazing. So a little bit, Sparta currently top of the league, sitting comfortably in first place. They're doing well. They've started the domestic season strong. How would you sum up their current form, squad, and expectations for both the league and also Europe this year?
Well, I would start that as a Sparta fan, you have to understand that especially the last season was simply terrible, one of the worst in, let's say, last 5 or 7 years. So there was a huge disillusion. So despite the fact that Sparta Prague competed in a Champions League, which was amazing success, the rest of the season was simply terrible. So yet right now there are signs that we're on the great way ahead. We are slowly growing not only, let's say, the self-confidence of the whole squad, but also as a team, as fans, we can feel the passion again. But I would still be, let's say sometimes, let's say, kind of a cautious, because yes, we played few games this season. We've won most of them so far, except two of them. But basically, concerning the league, Czech league, there was only one very strong opponent, and when we just drawn with them, the game was tied in the first round of Czech League, and the rest of the competitor in a conference league. I would say that as a Sparta Prague, with all of those opportunities we have concerning our owner, the quality of our squad, we simply must go through, and that's also the case with Riga. We simply have to go through and reach at least a group stage of Conference League, because if you compare the market prices and value of both squads, our quality of players, it simply must to reach a group stage.
Okay, so you had a bad season last season. What's changed this season in terms of the squad, and how have they improved from last season?
Well, basically, what I can see as a spectator from outside, because I don't know the club inside. But what I can see is that there is a huge influence of a coach, Brian Priske. It's a Danish coach who spent 2 seasons with Sparta Prague, won 2 titles. We've reached also the spring part of Europa League years ago, when we defeated, for example, Galatasaray from Turkey. So he as a Brian Priske was successful with Sparta Prague, not only in a Czech league but also internationally in Europa League, and he let's say depart our club after those 2 very successful seasons, and we had a different coach named Lars Friis. He was able to, push team inside the Champions League through the qualification rounds, but in the end, we've learned that he was more coach than a manager. And what Sparta Prague needs is a very good manager who's able to, lead the team, not only prepare it for a game from, let's say, tactical perspective, but also to lead a squad as a group of human beings. And that's
Okay.
what we can see right now.
So the changes have been in the leadership of manager more than anything. That there's
Yes,
a bit more of a
absolutely.
stronger leader. How have they changed in terms of how they're playing, and are they more motivated? Where are you seeing the differences?
Well, I would say that some game principles are still the same. We mostly play with three players back. We have a very strong and very a quick approach towards the attack phase of our game. That's absolutely things which are the same no matter, let's say, first Priske period, last first period, and now the second age of Brian Priske in Sparta Prague. That's all the time the same. But what we can see is not only the self-confidence of players, but also I would say, uh, for me as a someone who is rather be, let's say, skeptical than optimistic, I still think that we have to wait. What the new Sparta Prague in its second Brian Priske era actually is. The season has just begun, so there is a lot to do. And I would say that in the first games this season, Sparta Prague and their players, they're still trying to be, let's say, calm in the ball. They don't want to risk, and they're trying to take let's say, small amount of risk as it is possible. So that's what you can expect from both games. Sparta will be better on the ball for
So
sure.
they're quite a composed team that take limited risk, but they maintain possession and they're cautious.
And yes, and also concerning the pressure we are able to do towards our opponents, and on the other hand, the quality of our players. I would expect that Sparta will hold the ball for, let's say, 65%, maybe even 70% of time, especially speaking about the game here home in Prague. Where we are super strong on our grounds, you can expect that Sparta will hold the ball and will be calm on the ball, and our players will be able to wait for the opportunities for mistakes of our opponents, and then very briefly go to attack by one or two very quick passes towards our attackers, which are now, let's say, they are on fire, all of them, concerning not only Kosovian forward Albion Rahmani, which
Yeah, he's
is
looking good.
amazing.
Yeah.
He is amazing, actually.
Why is he
I
so
would,
good?
well, especially his technique is amazing. From my perspective, I've never seen such a good attacker in Sparta in, let's say, those 15 years.
The ball
Me,
sticks to his feet, or he's got a beautiful finish. Where you think his
Everything,
strengths?
everything. I would say everything. Yes, we can still feel that he needs to work more to be able to be successful in the Czech league, which is super physical. And it's more like a bunch of butchers sometimes than footballers.
Yeah.
So that's where he has to work for sure. But he is amazing. His first touches, his shots from longer distance, his technique is amazing, and he is very calm in finishing. So all of these are amazing,
Okay.
amazing sides of Albion Rahmani. There is also a Czech forward called Kuchta, who is quite well known also, let's say, in a northern part of Europe, because he spent some time in Midtjylland in a
So
Danish
just
league.
we'll move on then. Key players, I guess. So in terms of the squad structure, where do you see the strengths? You've got a very sharp forward. Where are you seeing like the key areas and the key players in the squad right now? Would you say it's more of a midfield attack, or are you feeling confident across the field?
hmm Well, it really depends on what kind of lineup we will have on a field. Especially, I expect that Sparta will have the best players, especially in home game. They will try to do their best to, let's say, finish the whole clash with Riga at home ground with a win. Let's say about 4-3 or 4-0. That's my
That's the
that's my
target. Yeah.
that's my personal expectation. We simply have to be very strong at home, because we have to, change squad. There are so many games in this early stages of the season, so we have to make we are simply pushed to make changes. And so,
Okay.
from my perspective, it would be very important for Sparta to have a strong win in first leg, to be able to make some changes for the second leg in Riga. So
Okay.
concerning players, I would expect that there is a brain of our game called Kairinen, the Finnish national team midfielder. He's amazing. He's literally a brain of our game, and there are
So he's
super.
creative, more creative than stamina, or what? In what way do you
He,
think the brain
I,
of the game?
I would say that he's concerning the creativity. He's able to keep the ball when it's necessary. He is able to, literally see the whole playground, and move the ball from one side to another. They're very strong, and very quickly playing, both wingers, a Serbian player, Birmančević, and also Slovakian winger, and our captain, Lukáš Haraslín. Both are amazing, especially on one-on-one duels. Then we've already mentioned Albion Rahmani as a striker, or Jan Kuchta. We'll see who will play in the very beginning of our first leg. And there are also amazing wing backs, which are very important for our game. And that's another thing
Czechs have a
which,
history of creating some really good, well-known wing backs. There's a lot of
yeah,
a
and
bit of a
actually
kid in the Premier League and
that's
stuff.
what you can see. Actually, these are, those differences between last season and this season. This season, you can feel that we have extremely strong both wing backs, both sides of a side of a pitch. So there is Pavel Kadeřábek, Czech former national team player, and especially a former player of Hoffenheim in Bundesliga, where he played basically 10 whole seasons. So he's amazing. He is on fire in the beginning part of this season. There is also Ecuadorian national team player, Angelo Preciado, who plays on the same side as Pavel Kadeřábek. And on the left side, we have Rineš, a Czech player, and maybe we can see a new name in our squad on the left side of the pitch, John Mercado, also Ecuadorian national team player, who joins us, let's say, it's like 10 days ago or something like this. So
Okay.
he's quite new, but he's super fast, and he has amazing passes into the box. So these are another players, or part of our squad, where you should where you should be aware of our
Yeah,
let's say, from.
so Sparta, they're a possession focused team where they try to hold the ball from midfield, with some good wing backs and some very quick wingers, and a very clinical striker by the sounds of things. And so that the possession style of play is everything for the team. Have they come across any, like, how have they done in Europe so far? Have they come across any opposition that has caused trouble in midfield, or where have they looked weak in so far?
Mm,
They've lost a couple of games. I see they've lost one game in the league so far. Or...
there was just one tie in the very first game of the season against Jablonec, which is very strong. They were able to tie the game also with Pilsen and also with Slavia Praha. Let's say all of those three strongest team in the Czech league. So they're very strong so far this season, and we've also lost one of the games in qualification rounds of Europa Conference League. So from my perspective, uh, for me as a Sparta Prague fan, my expectations are huge from our team. So from my point of view, I don't think we've already seen how strong we actually are. We haven't met Pilsen or Baník Ostrava or Slavia Praha as are the strongest team in our league. And in Europa Conference League, I would assume that the strongest opponent still awaits for us. if we are able to make it at least till the group stage.
Okay. So why are you so confident in your team? Why is there so much self-belief there? Or you just feel that the opposition hasn't been strong enough yet? Or
Well, it's more like if you play for Sparta Prague, if you work for Sparta Prague, you must be very self-confident and you must be the best. Nothing, winning games is not enough if you are a player of Sparta Prague. You have to make it. You have to simply completely destroy the opponent. So that's what the pressure is in Sparta. If you are a Sparta Prague player, then you must be able to take this pressure, and you must be able to winning games not only by one goal but more. And so that's what I'm saying. Yes, I'm super happy that we were able to win all of those games so far this season, but the real tests are still waiting for us.
okay. In terms of last season in Europe, how did the squad do? What went well? What didn't go wrong? What
Well,
didn't
I
go so well?
actually, the only thing which was, let's say, kind of a success was reaching group stage of Champions League last season. That was the only success we had the whole last season,
And
because
who
the
was in the
rest.
group, and how did they fare against the
Well,
teams?
actually, we were able to beat Red Bull Salzburg. We beat them 3-0 at home. We were able to draw on the game with Stuttgart, one of the strongest Bundesliga teams. So we drawn them 1-1 at their ground. We played against Manchester City, Atletico Madrid. We lost, obviously, those games. But I actually have one more feeling. It was the game against Internazionale Milano. We played again against them at home, and it was only 1-0 for them. So it was quite interesting to see
Yeah,
this game from.
respectful results against
Yeah,
some big
yeah,
fighters.
yeah. So basically, that's it. And on the other hand, I'm quite confident towards Brian Priske and his capabilities to prepare the
Yeah,
team.
let's move on to Brian Priske then, who seems to really stamped his mark a little bit on the team, as you've mentioned. You've not seen too many managerial shifts other than the psychology within the team, possibly. And before Priske came, the current Riga FC manager, Adrian Gula, was actually linked to your team as well. Why do you feel that Priske has been the right fit? And how much? Yeah, why do you feel he's been the right fit for you?
Well, actually, I would get back to the thing I've already mentioned, and that's the point that he is not only a coach. There are plenty of coaches in a league, let's say, but he's not only a coach but also a team leader. He is also a great motivator. He is the one, let's say, who is the literally, if you're in the company, then you need someone who is a CEO, who is a form leader, who is a head of the whole squad, whole your company, and that's him. He's super passionate. He is the one who is able to work with the heads of all players, motivate them, and that's the biggest difference comparing him to, for example, Lars Friis, our former head coach last season. Lars Friis was amazing concerning some tactical aspects of a game, but he wasn't manager. He was just a
Okay,
coach,
yeah. So more a
and that's the
tactician,
point.
less of a motivator and all rounder. So,
Yes,
and just a quick one on your stadium, the Letná. It's
yes,
a pretty
great
formidable,
pronunciation. Yeah.
pretty formidable place to head to. Have any teams had much luck in the Letná, and what makes it the stadium so special?
I would say it's about the crowd which is there. As I've mentioned, I've been visiting Sparta games for, let's say, 15 or 16 years, and especially after Brian Priske came, he changes not only the squad itself but also the whole community of Sparta Prague fans. And so last 3 or 4 seasons, the atmosphere on Letna is so powerful that literally people are the one more player for the squad. Spectators are very close to the field, and so it's also about that you don't have not only, let's say, those tifosis or
It's
ultras
a
in
close
yeah,
proximity.
Yes, but it's not only about them, but also about the rest of fans all around the stadium. All of them are joining the atmosphere, joining the chants, and so that's why it's so tough to play against Sparta when we are at home, because you can literally feel all of those thousands and thousands of people on the stadium pushing our players forward.
Okay. And in terms of weak spots, where are you seeing weak spots in the team? Where are the problems in the team at the moment?
Well, I assume there are some of them, but we still don't know them because, last season, everything, literally everything was wrong. There was nothing good in the whole, not only a team, but also organization itself. Now we can see that by getting Brian Priske back on the board, yes, things has changed. Yes, we were able to win those games, but I really feel that we are still waiting for tough games that will show us what our weakness are. We still don't
Okay.
know it.
So you've conceded 4 goals this season? Any
Yes,
so
yes,
I guess
yes.
how many clean sheets?
Oh gosh, actually, that's a tough question. I can't answer it, but I guess like two
I'm
or
putting you
three
on
of
the
them
spot.
were clean, were clean sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And there was a Latvian player that played against Sparta last weekend when they won 2-0. Krollis, he's a former top
Yeah,
scorer in the Liga. Do you know much about Riga FC at all? Have you had much experience seeing Latvian teams play in against Sparta in the past from your long history of watching
Mm,
Sparta?
actually, not that much, but basically, yes, there are some Czech players in all of those Baltic countries, which are
Yeah, there's
sometimes mentioned
a lot coming
in
through at the moment. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So they are mentioned in Czech media. Also, Mr. Gula is quite well known person and respectable person. I would say. So he's quite a respectable coach in a Czech football community. So these are those peaks, I would say. But from general point of view, yes, there are a few players coming to the Czech Republic from all the Baltic countries. You've mentioned Mr. Krolis. There's also a goalkeeper who joined other Czech team, other Prague team, Dukla Praha. So he's another player from the Baltic countries, and there
There
are
seems to
also
be a lot of connections at the moment. In fact, there's a team called Jelgava, and they have, I believe, about 7 or 8 Czech players
yeah,
within the
that's
team. So
yeah,
there
that's
seems
that
to be
that
a
that, that,
quite
that
unique connection with the. There seems to be a sort of training ground for Czech players looking to progress a little bit more in their career in terms of like
Yeah,
getting
that,
Premier
that's
League
that's
games.
what I mean. That's what I mean by saying that they're sometimes mentioned because of this huge Czech community. So yes, they're sometimes mentioned in a, let's say, those football geek community on a Twitter or in a Czech media.
Okay, and just quickly, very super quick history of Sparta before we have to finish this podcast. Tell us a little bit about, the ethos of the club. Is it a fan-orientated club? Is it more of a business sort of multinational club, or how? Tell us a little bit about the club itself.
Well, actually, I can't say anything else that Sparta is simply number one in a Czech football history. We have
Is that a
won the
biased perspective as a diehard?
No, 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 no. Actually, we have won the most Czech titles. We are the most successful club from any possible angle concerning people. When you ask people, for example, in Czech society, which football club is the first you've mentioned, then it's Sparta. Sparta is also the club which attracts the biggest attention, not only the positive one, but also the negative one. Sparta Prague is also the most successful club on a European grounds concerning, for example, number of participations in a group stage of Champions League. And let's say, I would say that the modern era of Sparta Prague is linked with Brian Priske and let's say this Danish coaching staff who brought, after many years of terrible performances, brought
Okay.
finally the passion and a winning mentality.
And what has been the most special moment as a Sparta supporter for you?
Well, it's quite obvious that those latest are the strongest. It's natural. So I would say, for example, the game against Copenhagen, game against Galatasaray Istanbul, uh,
Yeah.
game against Dinamo Zagreb. Mostly those European games are
Yeah,
top
European
in my
leagues.
mind.
It was a really special year last season in the Europa League in Riga. RFS beat Ajax and they got a draw, some good draws against Galatasaray and things. So European football is everything in the Baltics, and we'll obviously be supporting Riga FC and seeing what happens. Your prediction, you think is going to be a 4-0 at home for Sparta? What are your predictions for the draw?
Well, actually, that's not my expectation, but more as my desire to see Sparta winning this game. Let's
And your
say three.
prediction?
My prediction is that Sparta will be able to win, let's say, by 2 goals.
Two, okay.
By
Yeah.
2 goals at home and away. It really depends on a first game.
Okay.
If we win, let's say 4-0, then there will be huge changes in a squad, and so the second leg could be even tied, maybe. But I
Okay, we'll
can't predict it
see.
now.
So you've gone from potentially 4-0 to 2-0, 2-0 on aggregate.
Let's say winning by 2 goals the first
Okay.
match. That's
Okay,
my
we'll
point of
see.
view.
Possession football with some quick wings awesome. Well, that's all for now. Brilliant stuff, Philippe. Thanks again for joining us ahead of what promises to be a great atmosphere in Prague and then in the Skonto in Riga. For our listeners, make sure to follow Baltic Football Podcast on your platform of choice, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, and of course, keep those comments coming on X and Instagram. Leave your comments and we look forward to hearing from you. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe or check out our website, www.balticfootballnews.com. But for now, that's all from us.